Boom, monkeys, and we are live. Welcome back to the Crypto Boogie channel. We got a badass morning show for you cats today. We got some memes, and we are going to cover a couple of freaking tokens, man. The most of the tokens that I'm going to cover today are pretty much tokens that are still at a great value. Even though Bitcoin's rallying, we don't want to freaking FOMO in on green candles. So some of these tokens I do mention are at a good value, as I mentioned earlier. We are going to cover some memes, and we definitely got to hit up the fragrance of the day. Let's give a shout out to the hardest working trucker in America, none other than freaking Tex-Mex. ¿Qué pasó, vato? ¿Qué dice el pedo? You picked up your Q taco yet? And then we got my other camarada here, Mechanics, breakfast bullets, and put Bitcoin to start the day. Yeah, man, we do got some of that shit rolling today. I'm also going to cover a little bit of ETH monkeys. I know you guys want to see what's going on with that. And people do want to see a market update. Heads up on some of the coins I'm going to cover. Bitcoin, ETH, I'm going to do a little bit of Pulse Chain. I do want to hit up some Ton, Icosa, and especially Hedron. I do want to hit up some Oath. And if we have time, maybe we'll do a little bit of Jewel. So, food for thought. Let's go over to the meme of the day. Let's see what the meme entails. What we got, man? First meme of the day. Here we go. Let's light the sucker up. Boyfriend gives presentation on a woman he could cheat with.
What is it?
Girls I could cheat on my girlfriend with. Number one. No one. See? Loyal.
Okay. What's the next?
Eye ladies.
The hell is eye ladies?
Eye ladies nuts on your face. A little.
That's pretty freaking funny, man. Ladies nuts on your face, bro. That's freaking hilarious, dude. Oh my goodness, dude. Ay. All right, monkeys. Let's move on to freaking Bitcoin, man. Now, as you guys can see from the title of the video, it says Tuesday morning technicals got my irons zeroed on Hedron. BTC currently at 57,116. Now, if you cats that don't know, that aren't familiar with the whole freaking rifle thing, iron's basically referring to the freaking iron sights on your weapon, man. I know I got some freaking Europeans in here, and some of the people from Asia and stuff like that watch my channel. That's what I'm referring to, man. Basically sniping the lows of the opportunities we do have on Hedron. Now, let's check out the first freaking coin of the day, which is Bitcoin. And here we go. Let's see where BTC's at. Bitcoin's current value is at now 56,989. As we can see, it's having a little bit of trouble compromising this one area of about 57,428. I think the highest point we got on Bitcoin today was, dude, at approximately what? On the daily, we got up to 57,449, and that is the highest point we got to. And we are getting this resistance from this area of Bitcoin at the time being. You can see these shoulder candles before we hit the top. Now, let's go over here. I was telling my homie Brandon, he's asking me if we're going to get any pullbacks on Bitcoin. I told him I don't think we will, man. I don't think we will get any pullbacks on Bitcoin. We're at about day 35 as far as its 60-day cycle goes, and we should be approaching day 45 around March 8th. Now, around day 45, it could be a possibility that we start getting a dip on Bitcoin. But if you see this little measurement tool here, I drew that up last night, and that's an average of about 2.61%. Let me go ahead and activate my Bollinger Band. Let me tell you why I have it there. Let me zoom in a little bit. All right. It's basically on Bitcoin's current value. Usually, when Bitcoin rallies pretty hard and it's going against the areas of deviation on the Bollinger Bands, these Bollinger Bands are here, the yellow line, the red line, the white line, the green line, and it's already compromised the first area of resistance that it does have. So if we pull this all the way up over here to the white line, which is where we usually pull back from. Because anytime we make contact with the white line, we pull back from that. It's approximately 5% away. And that price range is approximately at 60,525. If Bitcoin keeps this up by Friday, if it keeps it up by Friday, we should be capable of compromising that area or at least reaching that area. Now, in order for us to maintain that value, we would need to be here above doggone 59,441. If we can maintain about 59,441 up to Sunday, then that's where we'll stabilize, and that's where we will continue our rally, if anything. Now, one of the things I do like to show on Bitcoin, present share screen, is how it's functioning on the weekly. And I drew up this chart a couple days ago. I was live on Twinkie stream, Mr. Angry Twinkie. Give that cat a follow as well. And I had mentioned that this Elliott wave down here would possibly be in this area right there. And I was assuming that we would probably get a pullback. And if we did pull back, it'd be somewhere around 40,753. But I also cited that as a possibility, what can occur, because Bitcoin has been pretty bullish, we could end up getting to the all-time high on Elliott Wave 3. And that all-time high is approximately 69,000. Now, if that were to occur, if we zoom in on this freaking Fibonacci retracement we have here, we would likely come back and return to this area here of about 49,000 or 50,000 before we go into price discovery and find out where the fifth portion of the Elliott wave is going to on Bitcoin, because at that point in time, once we surpass that value of about 69,000, then there is no other history of Bitcoin being that high. Could this happen before the end of the year? I think it could absolutely happen before the end of the year. And it would not surprise me, man, that we beat this area of about 69,000, give or take. I would say that Bitcoin probably has a chance of rallying all the way up to 160,000 come next year in 2025, whenever that time is. Of course, that's with no black swan events occurring. Now, if you cats didn't know, as of recent, Donald Trump was asked. I wish I had the video clip, man. I was such in a hurry freaking prepping this for you cats. They asked Donald Trump, what do you think about Bitcoin? And back in the day, Donald Trump was pretty much a boomer, and he never really cared about Bitcoin or crypto or anything like that. He was more concerned about the US dollar. And I understand where he's coming from. He is a boomer, and majority of his assets are valued in US dollars. I think he does hold Ethereum, if anything, and he said he would be open to it. So with that statement, I do believe that Donald Trump is somewhere from neutral to cool with Bitcoin. And I think if he does get reelected, we'll probably see another rally the day after he is elected as president. You'll probably see Bitcoin start ripping to the upside. And I think that's where we can really crush the $100,000 mark, if anything, man. So November will entail what would happen. I'm assuming if the opposing party, the Democratic Party, wins, Joe Biden would win, that we'll probably see a crash in the market. And the reason I say that is because when Barack Obama won his election against Romney and against McCain, the markets dumped. And that's because, of course, he's a Democrat. And, of course, the markets ended up dumping because of that. You know what I mean? So that's what can possibly occur with this upcoming election and the value of Bitcoin. Now, since we've already covered Bitcoin, let's quickly move on to ETH. ETH's current value is at 32.73. Areas that ETH needs to compromise. Let me go ahead and erase these suckers over here. And ETH's current value at the time being is 32.73, being redundant. Areas that we do need to beat on ETH. We do need to beat this recent high that we did have, which was at approximately 35.17. That is an area we do need to beat, or 35.80 if you want to be even. But first, we do still have to have a little battle with 34.19. After we beat this area of about 35.84, we can pretty much run pretty easily all the way up over here to about 38.85. That won't be a freaking problem for Ethereum. I'm hoping that you cats manage to get Ethereum. I'm hoping that you cats manage to follow my channel, because I was preaching that we should be getting Ethereum under $2,200. And we do want to have some of that to stabilize our portfolio. It would not surprise me if we do have another black swan event this year, just like the way it would happen with Android 19. And that'll probably give us a little bit of a dip. If that does occur, that would be prime buying time if you're not holding on to any Ethereum. Let's see how Ethereum is doing with its EMA ribbon, and you can see that we're clearly above it. Next area of support that we do have to the downside is here about $3,000 flat. On the Bollinger Band, we've only touched the first point of deviation. The highest point we can get to is up over here at this white line mark. Let's grab our measuring tool and see how far that's away from our current value. That on average would be about 14% in order for us to get to that high. And that would be at a price point of about 37.67. Know what I mean? I'm assuming the market will continue to rally throughout the day. I did check out other coins, and I think that Pulse Chain will probably end up rallying with Ethereum as well, with the way Ethereum's going, if anything. Now, one of the things that I do think will end up happening with ETH is that pretty much our gas prices are going to start spiking up pretty soon. I haven't made any recent transactions on freaking ETH or on Uniswap or anything like that. Well, not today or not yesterday. And I've got no idea where the ETH gas fees are at. I'm assuming they got to be pretty damn expensive. 2 days ago, I did make a purchase for a couple meme coins, and I did notice that I was paying close to about $11 per transaction, and that was around 2 a.m., 3 a.m. You know what I'm saying? So I wonder what ETH's gas prices are going to be later on today when we're around 11 or 12 o'clock. You know what I'm saying? Let's go back to the chat. Let's see what the chat is saying. All right. No money, Mike. Soon going to be a lot of money, Mike. Almost missed it. Nah, homie. You're still good. You're still good, man. And mate Zeus, where we are. We are approaching the next altcoin, which we are going to talk about. And let's hit up some Pulse, man. Let's see what Pulse Chain's doing. Give me a second, cats. I'm going to take a quick sip of water if you don't mind. Stop cam. All right, let's see where Pulse Chain is at. I know you cats are dying to see where PLS is, how PLS is doing, man. Let's see. All right, man. Pulse Chain's current value is at 3 zeros and a 1376, if anything. That's where it's currently at. 3 zeros and a 1376. Next area we do have to beat is this red Fibonacci area, was at about 3 zeros and a 1428. And as of recent, the high that we do need to compromise is 3 zeros and a 1568. Now, I do think that we have started a new 20-day cycle on Bitcoin, because not on Bitcoin, on Pulse Chain, for the reason being that we did end up doing this rainbow arc, and we finished it off at day 15 for the low. So taking that measurement, we are at approximately day 4, and we could end up getting a full pullback around March 15th, and that may be a higher low, or a higher low, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Give me a second, cats. Give me a second. Present, share. This So there you go. Area we do need to beat is here at about 3 zeros and a 1562. If we turn on our moving averages, the closest one we do have to support is a 10-day moving average, and it's slightly under that green Fibonacci area of 0.382. So around day March 8th to about March 14th is when we could see a new dip or the starting process of a new dip for Pulse Chain. You know what I mean? That's where we're currently at right now. Everything does seem bullish. Now, if I show you the Pulse X chart, if I show you the Hex chart, if I show you the doggone freaking P Hex chart, they're pretty much the same. They're all looking the same. the patterns looking exactly the same, and that's what seems is going on with Pulse Chain. So let's see this sucker on the weekly, man. Let's see how it's doing on the weekly. So the reason I brought you back out to the weekly is so you could see the highest point we've ever gotten to on Pulse Chain is here at about day 2, and that value is at about 3 zeros and a 2883. So let's take our measuring tools from our current value now and see how far we are from that point. And that is about 100% away. If we're about 108% away from that, and I don't think that's impossible to do, man. I think we definitely got some freaking shit going for us. Now, yesterday, I think it was Money Gang Crypto that posted a video talking about that the OA ended up moving some of its DAI over to freaking Aave, for you cats that didn't know. Now, why is this important? According to Money Gang Crypto's video, from the research that he got from the person that gave him this data, and I think he did confirm it, was they went ahead and they staked some of that DAI on Aave. So I am assuming, again, this is only an assumption, that the reason they did that is because whatever yield they do make off that DAI, they'll probably use that to pump the bags of Pulse Chain Hex or P Hex, or maybe even PulseX. So the Pulse Chain ecosystem is looking pretty damn bullish, if anything, cats. It is looking pretty damn bullish. I'm hoping that you guys managed to get some of those tokens. You managed to DCA into some of those freaking tokens, because I got a feeling, man, they're going to run pretty hard. Now, I think it was Corey Costa was having an interview with Axis Live. Axis Live is pretty damn good at technical analysis. He's a lot senior to me when it comes to TA. But I think I can hold my own. And he was saying once Hex compromises the value point of about 10 cents, we could see it run all the way up to $100. Now, of course, that's being extremely bullish, if anything, man. Hex running up to $100, I would say, yes, it's possible, but is it probable? I would say no. And he did mention that it's probable that it can do that. You know what I'm saying? I would have to look at more technicals for that, man, to see how he came up with that number, $100. I would need to watch the whole episode. It was a snippet that I saw on Corey Costa's freaking, I think, Twitter, if anything, man, where I heard him mention that. So food for thought, monkeys. That's what we got on Pulse Chain. Now let's move on to a little bit of freaking Hedron, man. Let's see what Hedron's doing right now. Now, Hedron, look at that shit. Boom. Let me turn these suckers off. Hedron is at a great freaking value, man. And I think it's one of the few tokens within the Pulse Chain ecosystem that are worth grabbing right now, if anything, man. Hedron is currently at about day 17 of its 20-day cycle. The most it can continue going to the downside, I am assuming, would be up to about day 21, unless something bearish happens, and then Hedron could probably go lower. Current value of Hedron is at about 6 zeros and a 3348. I'm assuming that today would possibly be the low or the final low for freaking Hedron, if anything, because that wick does look pretty freaking steep, and it does seem like it wants to make contact with this area of support of about 6 zeros and a 3095. So food for thought, monkeys. If you guys haven't had a chance to freaking DCA into Hedron right now, would not be a bad time. Let's see what $100 gets us. If we drop $100, mind you, this is P Hedron, by the way, cats. We drop $100 on Hedron, you get almost 300 million Hedron. So basically, let's do $400. $400 would get you about 1,194,743,130 Hedron. I think this is one of the tokens that has not yet moved, and I think if you cats are FOMOing right now and you want to get some of your favorite Pulse Chain coins, this, or maybe a little bit of EHEX, this would probably be the token you'd want to get. Because once this token starts rallying, you can then ratio trade it into the other tokens that are your favorite within the Richard Hart ecosystem. So food for thought, monkeys. I know a lot of people don't really like the idea of having to ratio trade it and trade it out for something that's doing a lot better later. But patience is key when it comes to this type of market, and especially when everything's rallying. So you want to look at the coins that you could get at a better value, and later when they pump, then you can set those coins aside. You could end up trading them out for the coins that you originally wanted. Or let's say freaking Hedron freaking does an amazing rally, but Hex Pulse Chain or PulseX is still not at a great value. So what you can do, you can sell some of that Hedron, keep it in DAI, and once those freaking assets dip, the ones you want, you could use that dinero to go ahead and freaking ape back into them. Now, a couple days ago, I did draw up this freaking descending triangle, and it ended up playing out. If you guys check my video history, I did have a freaking small video with Crypto Sloth. Shout out to Sloth. And I had told the man that Hedron is due for a dip, and that's exactly what's going on. He did mention, man, dude, I want Hedron to rally. I don't want it to dip. And I'm like, dude, I am hoping for a dip so I can end up buying some more. Hey, man, $1 billion here and there, trust me, will freaking do you great in the freaking once we get to a freaking big ass freaking bull run. Now let's put this sucker on the weekly, man. This is why I'm bullish on Hedron, dude. Let me show you cats what I mean. No, this is not it. I'll show you the other chart. Let me activate that for you cats, because the value of P Hedron and E Hedron is almost the same. Let's see, Hedron. They're about the same. Of course, I'm using this chart because it's got a little bit more history. The P Hedron side doesn't have this history over here. But look at this low right here, man. I remember when I bought Hedron on Ethereum, I bought it around this area over here, man. And I got to experience this pump all the way over here. If you look at the value now of where it's at, man, it's almost at that super low again. So it reminds me of that situation, man. And hence why I do believe it is a great time to get some Hedron, if anything, cats. And that is why I am bullish on Hedron. Now, since we do cover a little bit of Hedron, we also have to hit up Icosa. Let's see where Icosa's at. The unfortunate thing about Icosa, though, is that we never got to see Icosa run because of the time it was launched. It was launched as we were approaching the bear market, and it really never got to give us a show as to what it's capable of doing. Of course, I do think Icosa will do very, very well, and I think we should take advantage of that, especially now while the market is dipping a little bit. Let's see where Icosa's at. Hopefully it is at the same value or close to the same value. Let's see. It's at 16 cents. We are getting a little bit of a dip on Icosa. I'm assuming if I run 20-day cycles on this bad boy, it probably doesn't follow the 20-day cycles, I'm guessing. The low for Hedron here was at 1427. So let's grab that sucker right there, pull it back all the way to what? No, it's not really following freaking 20-day cycles. If it was following a 20-day cycle, it would have to run all the way up to 26 days, and that would be on this dip right here, man. I'm assuming it's not functioning on 20-day cycles, but it is holding to its dear life right here at about 1601. Is it a bad time to get Hedron? Icosa, I would say no. It's not a bad time. But if it does collapse a little bit more, I think we do have support here about 1321 from these candles over here. Let me put the sucker on the weekly. So at about here, 1240 is another area of support. Right now, it's not a bad time to get a freaking a little bit of Icosa if you guys want to get some of that. This could look right here. Let me show you what I mean. And this is on the weekly. This could be the beginning of an Elliott wave. This being the bottom, we already came down here. We are approaching the 2 area, and then 3, of course, would have to take us past this Fibonacci area, and that would take us closely into price discovery. Now, mind you, 2 and 3 has to be bigger than 0 to 1, so it's unknown where this would end up taking us, if anything. Let's make this kind of let's do a weak ass 3. That would put us at about $1.72. And that's a weak ass Elliott wave from 2 to 3. And usually the 2 to 3 is probably the harder one that it runs. So let's do a little bit more bullish one. That'll put us around 253, give or take. Of course, that is only guesstimation. We don't know where it can go fully. You know what I'm saying? But Icosa is at a good value, and I would end up trying to get some if I had a little bit more capital. Of course, I would focus on Hedron first before I even touch Icosa, if anything. Now, let's turn off these Bollinger Bands. Turn on the 50, and let's turn on the 100, man. Let's put the sucker on the daily. Now, this is a cool thing right here. We are below the 50. And we are above the 100. The 200, I don't think 200 is way below those. So, again, this is not a bad area to get a little bit of freaking Icosa. And yeah, that is Icosa, son. That is the current value of Icosa, homie. You know what I'm saying? All right. Where did I put it at? Now, since we did cover all these freaking doggone tokens already, we've pretty much covered the Richard Hart, not the Richard Hart tokens, but the Pulse Chain tokens or the Hex ecosystem tokens. Let's move on to the fragrance of the day. Now, this is a pretty simple fragrance. I think this one will do good. I am not a fan of Dior Sauvage. I'm not saying Dior Sauvage is not a good fragrance. Dior Sauvage is a fantastic fragrance, and I got to give it its credit. Example given. For you Hispanics in here, you guys know who Juan Manuel Marquez is, the guy that knocked out Manny Pacquiao. I am not a fan of Juan Marquez's boxing style. Never have been. But I do acknowledge that it is a good boxing style, and I got to give the cat credit. The guy did knock out Manny Pacquiao, and he's probably, in my opinion, Mexico's greatest boxer that ever came out of Mexico. People argue, no, it's Julio Cesar Chavez. I beg to differ. I think Juan Manuel Marquez would have beaten the crap out of Julio Cesar Chavez because his style is too damn adaptive. A lot of people make the argument that, well, Julio Cesar Chavez is a classic. I've always said, because you're black and white doesn't mean that makes you better. Boxing does evolve. Now, I know I'm going on a boxing tangent, but this is why I'm bringing it up. This is a very good fragrance, and I think it's a good replacement if you don't like Dior Sauvage. And this fragrance is called Versace Dylan Blue. And there it is right there. It's got a navy blue freaking bottle with a gold medallion and a gold cap. Let me see so you guys can see a little bit clearer. And that's what it looks like, man. This is a good replacement for freaking Dior Sauvage. And I prefer rocking Dylan Blue. And it's more affordable than Dior Sauvage. Than freaking, than I'd rather use this than Dior Sauvage. Now, I'm not talking about the Dior Sauvage elixir, man. That shit is powerful and that shit's amazing, dude. But I would rather rock this bad boy over Dior Sauvage. Now, what am I getting from this, man? In a sense, it's kind of a little bit darker than Dior Sauvage. It's a little bit darker. It lasts a little bit longer. You do get that ambroxan smell on it. A lot of people like it a lot, man. It does have a woody vibe to it. And I do get a little bit of freaking citrus, man. It does last pretty damn well. And after the dry down, after it dries down a little bit, you get like an aquatic type sense off of it, man. It is pretty affordable. Now, if you get the tester bottle on it, you'll pay like $57. Let me drop you guys the link for this bad boy. And you can get it on fragrance.net. And this is for you cats that don't like Dior Sauvage, even though Dior Sauvage is a good freaking fragrance and Johnny Depp freaking endorses the shit out of it. And let me show you the presentation as the way they show it on the website. And you can get it for about $47.24. And this is the 3.4, which is this one right here. But if you want to save a little bit, you can get the 6.7, man. And that's a bigger bottle. You know what I'm saying? That one comes out to about $72.44, bro. This is a damn good fragrance. It's not one that I use a lot because, again, I know I've said it multiple times. I'm not a big fan of that style of scent. But when I do feel like using that style of scent, I reset to this bad boy. And it smells pretty damn good. The atomizer is pretty damn gangster as well. So, I mean, how much would I spray on this sucker? I would do about 7 sprays. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm going to the office. If I'm going to the office or something like that, man, I'm being a work environment, maybe 2 to 3. You can use this on dates. This is all around during the day, during the evening. This one's kind of like all around, man. I wouldn't say gym. I would. It's kind of too thick for the gym, dude. If you want to use that sucker for gym fragrances, but all around, this is a good one, man. Aside from the gym, you want to use this on a date, you can do that. You want to use this during the day, you can do that, man. Business setting, you can use this one too, man. It's just an all-around freaking fragrance. It's not the master of a certain style, but the jack of all trades, bro. Highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. What do I give that fragrance from a scale of 1 to 10? I think people would possibly give it an 8.5 or an 8.7 because they like that freaking Sauvage one. Me, on the other hand, I give it like a 7.2. Not because it's not good. It's just that I don't like it. I mean, I like this one, but it's just not, that style is not my style. Hence why I give it a 7.2. Other people usually give it a higher rating. It's whatever you like, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, No Money Mike did ask me a damn good freaking question, bro. Let me show you where that fragrance is. Let me go get that for you. I think you're going to like the one I'm going to show you, man. And I think you have to like this one, man. I've mentioned it before, but if this was one that I would wear for life, which one would it be, bro? And I would try to get the biggest bottle possible of this one. Unfortunately, it's not the cheapest fragrance out there, but if I had to rock one for the rest of my life, this is the Chanel fragrance, Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. This one is completely all around, bro. You can use this sucker at the gym. You can use this sucker on date night. You can use this sucker during the office. You can use this sucker, man, for whatever you want, bro. This one is all around, and I give it a 9.5, bro. I give the sucker a 9.5, and this is my favorite fragrance that I would use if I could only hold on to one for the rest of my life. You've got like a sporty vanilla type freaking scent to it. When I put this sucker on, dude, at the gym, bro, dude, freaking chicks will be on you, bro, like white on rice, bro. I don't mean like, I mean, they'll just want to be around you, bro, when you're working out, especially like when you're having a really good workout and you're sweating it up. This will work fucking miracles, dude. I love this shit. Amazing freaking fragrance. Way prefer this over Dior Sauvage any day, man. Now, is this my favorite fragrance of all time? No. But my favorite all-around fragrance of all time? Yes. And this is, dude, I love this one, bro. This one's amazing. These run you for about $160, and you end up paying like freaking 175 shipped from the Chanel website. And forget getting it on discount. You're not going to find it on discount. Chanel, usually what they do, man, any of their products that are left over that nobody wants, they burn them because they don't want the value of their products going down. So good luck trying to get that sucker freaking cheap. Maybe if you go on to fragrance or if you cats are on Facebook, go over to freaking Fragrance Marketplace. Go on to Fragrance Marketplace, dude. That's the only place where you'll find really good discounts, and people won't try to price gouge you on freaking fragrance values, if anything. And if they do try to price gouge you, man, everybody will jump them and shit within the chat. So that's a good place to be, man. So if you guys don't like social media, create a freaking shitty account, bro, and just go on to freaking fragrance marketplace. That's a good place to go. All right, enough about fragrance, cats. I've been talking about fragrance for 10 minutes. Once I have more time, I'll launch a freaking fragrance channel. But let's move on to the next token of the day, man, and that is Ton Token. Let's see what Ton is doing. All right, Ton's current value is at about 216. Ton hasn't really rallied yet. We are seeing a small print of candles. We're about to break this box. Once we break this box and we compromise this area of about 229, I think that's when we can really see Ton start to rally, man. If we activate the EMA ribbon on Ton, you can see that we're using the EMA ribbon as an area of support. But there's something that I'm seeing here that may indicate we may continue dipping on Ton. If you guys see the EMA ribbon, the red portions to the top side, and the yellow portion is to the bottom side, which means we may end up coming back down. If it does happen, we do have this 200 moving average at $2.10 to act as support. As soon as this sucker turns around, we'll possibly be capable of compromising this area of about 229. Now, where are we on our cycles on this sucker, man? I haven't measured the cycles on this bad boy in a while. So currently, it seems it could be that we are barely on day 15. We could see its final dip around day 20, which would be around March 3rd. So that may be when we do see another freaking dip on freaking ton. I got the ERC20 version of ton for the reason being that it's a little bit more difficult to get it native here in Texas. And besides, if I do end up selling ton, man, I do want to sell it for USDC. And USDC is what Coinbase, Kraken, and freaking crypto.com use when you want to cash out. So, food for thought, monkeys. This is not at a bad value. I would slightly DCA, see where it goes. I'd keep my eye on it. And if it ends up dipping some more, I would wait and I would buy. So, ton is at a great value. First tokens we did cover today was Hedron at a great value. We covered Icosa at a great value, and we're covering ton at a great value. Let's see where Oath is going. And we got Mate Seuss here. You get it on Velodrome, homie, and I'll show you right now. Let me pull it up as a matter of fact. Let's see, present, share screen. Let's get some Oath, homie, and Oath is at a great value. Now, mind you, cats, I have me and Twinkie, or it may be Twinkie, man. Twinkie may be covering some things that are happening with Oath right now. There is some things going on in the background which are kind of bullish. He does a lot of the fundamental analysis. So he's going to give us a heads up as to how it's doing. I'll probably talk to him later on tonight to see what the deal is with Oath. Let's see. I don't think I had the chart prep, but let me get that for you cats. Here it is. Present, share. Now, Oath has got a giga Chad bearish engulfing candle, man. Current value is exactly at 3 cents and 15% of a penny. We may end up getting all the way down to this bottom portion of the box at about 3 cents flat. Now, mind you, I don't know what's going on with Oath as to why we got this Giga Chad dump. I would have to do a little bit more research on that, but I do know some bullish things are coming for Oath, and people will be getting the Aurelius airdrop, especially if they freaking add their Oath to a liquidity pool with wrapped ETH, and in turn you will receive bonded Oath. Especially if you do it, I think if you go to Beats, you can go ahead and access that. Now, you were wondering where you can get Oath. You're going to have to get it here on Velodrome. And let me show you what Velodrome looks like, cats. Mind you, Oath is also a token that is mostly on Optimism. And this is their website right here. So let me take you back to the Oath deck screener chart so I can teach you how to get there. If you come down here to where it says Velodrome, trade on Velodrome, click on that. It'll take you there. But be advised, man, use a damn condom wallet. Use a freaking condom wallet. You know what I'm saying? Don't be using no freaking doggone your regular wallet to make trades here on Velodrome. Use a condom wallet, and that's where you can get some of your Oath. You can get the contract address from here, and then you can paste it there, and then you can end up accessing it there. I'm going to do a little bit of research on this bad boy. I'm going to talk to my homie Twinkie, see what the deal's going on with Oath. As a matter of fact, after I get off the stream, I'll probably give him a ring, see what's going on with this. Because if it is just dipping and there's no data as to why it's dipping, I may want to start buying a little bit more. And I am bullish on the Byte Masons and Beavis himself. I think this is going to be a great project. Oath recently has released a little bit of freaking tokenomics, which is what I told you, that you could go ahead and put it together with wrapped Ethereum and make it into bonded Oath, and then receive an award and possibly even end up getting an Aurelius airdrop. So food for thought, monkeys. Where are we as far as the 20-day cycles on Oath? Let's see. Let's move this sucker over here. Boom, right there, 23. And if we grab the new measuring tool, put it over here, we are starting a new cycle on this bad boy, and that we are at about 10 days. So we may end up getting the full dip on this sucker around March 2nd to possibly March 9th. But nevertheless, if I don't think anything bearish is going on with those, I've got no idea why it's dumping right now, but I probably will possibly be getting more. If there's nothing bearish going on with this shit, man, I will be getting a little bit more oath, man. I got to see what's going on. I am bullish on this project again. I know I'm being redundant, cats. One thing I am noticing, the 50 moving average and the 100 moving average are both above it, which is bearish, which I like being a bear because it means I can buy more. And if we activate our Bollinger Bands, we may start going back to the upside, for the reason being that we've pierced the Bollinger Band a little bit too freaking aggressive, if anything. You know what I'm saying? Again, being redundant, if we do come down here to about 3 cents flat, that'll possibly be the bottom zone where we will hit oath. Now, could we break below that? Yeah, we can. The all-time low for oath at the time being is at about 2 cents and 57% of a penny. So yeah, homie, that's how you do it. Now, Matesus, you had asked me about freaking where you get it. Mind you, you do have to have the freaking the Optimism freaking RPC settings for your MetaMask wallet. You know what I'm saying? And then we got my amigo here, Agent J. Hey, yo. Oh, by the way, cats, join myself and Agent J. We were in agreement that we are going to have a freaking doggone stream this Friday, if anything, unless he changed this, unless something came up on his schedule. We should be having a stream together. It will be a freaking TA extravaganza. You know what I'm saying? And we got Matesus asking again. There are 2 addresses. Which one? Let me help you out here, Matesus. Let me help you out, man. Let me help you out, homie. Let's go back here. Going back to the oath address, you want to get this one right here, man. The one ending in E35A. That's the one you get. E35A. Let me drop you the deck screener freaking thing of a jig, so you can end up accessing it there. Boom. And there you go, man. You can grab it from that portion right there, man. Don't get yourself wrecked, homie. Make sure you use the condom wallet. You know what I'm saying? All right, since we already hit up a little bit of freaking oath, let's go on to the final freaking token. And that is going to be mother freaking Jewel. Let's see how freaking Jewel's doing, son. Pinche Jewel, vato. Jewel is at a great price, man. Jewel's current value is exactly at 22 cents. We are within this bar area. And currently on its 20-day cycle, pull the sucker down. It kind of broke its 20-day cycle. So this would be 10 right here. That would be an anomaly. Usually you don't see those types of lows, but they do occur. So then we would grab another measuring tool over here and see if it reset itself to a new 20-day cycle. And it seems that we have started a new cycle because it just finished an 18. And the area does need to compromise is the area here, which was on day 10. Now, what day are we on as far as its new cycle goes? The day we are barely on is on about day 4, give or take, man. So Jewel does have some areas to beat. The first area it's got to beat is this area here of about 26 cents, man, before it starts continuing rallying to the upside. And then it's got to defeat these areas over here as it came down. Mind you, this is not a lot of scaffolding. So I think once we beat the area of about 33 cents, it'll be a little bit easier coming to the upside till we get to about 46 cents. And then from there, the next area we got to beat is 51 cents. And then, of course, the last area would be 62 cents. Those are the areas we do have to beat before we do start compromising and going back to the upside of anything. Now, I would recommend that you guys follow freaking the DeFi Kingdoms freaking YouTube channel, every Thursday they do have an AMA on their channel, and they tell you what's going on. They talk for about an hour. They let you know what's going on that's new. When we got this massive dump, and for you cats that don't know too much about freaking doggone DeFi Kingdoms, when we got this Giga Chat dump, see these fucking all these counts that came to the downside. The reason that occurred is because they were considering nerfing their NFTs, their Gen 0 NFTs, which are the rarest NFTs. On average, those NFTs would run for about $2,300. And the thing about those suckers was that they had a cooldown time as to when those NFTs could breed. You know what I'm saying? So when those NFTs would breed, you'd have about, I think, after so many times, it would take about 72 hours to 48 hours before you could breed them again. And what happened was the people there were considering making the cool times down fast, the cooldown time faster, which would basically nerf them out a little bit more, man, and it would bring the value of the Gen Zeros down. So when they were considering doing that, a lot of people got pissed, hence why I started dumping. But then the voters got together, man, people that were holding on to Jewel, and they decided to say, like, nah, man, we're not going to do that, bro. We're not going to nerf our freaking Gen Zeros. Too many people freaking waited for a dip to get them at a decent price, and they got some. Now you guys want to freaking nerf the Gen Zero? That's not going to happen. So they ended up fixing that. I do know that Cryptos Are Us was talking about it, and that's probably one of the reasons it did pump. I am assuming that he'll probably come back to it and continue freaking marketing the shit out of it so it could end up rallying again. Now, Crypto Grady, I think right now he is the biggest person in DeFi Kingdoms. And then next to him, it used to be the Brown Gent. I haven't seen the Brown Gent on as of late, or maybe YouTube is suppressing his algorithm. So only time will tell, monkeys. Only time will tell. Now, that pretty much covers our stream today. I hope it was informative for you guys. Please like the video, share the video. Subscribe to my channel because I have not been getting new subscribers, and I'm assuming it's because I got these freaking weapons in the background. You know what I'm saying? Last week I had conducted a total of about 5 videos, and I got a whopping 2 subscribers. So make sure you monkeys subscribe to my videos, share the videos, follow me on Twitter, and let's give a shout out to my homie here, freaking Agent J. Hey, I'll be there, brother. Hey, I will see you Friday, homie. And then we got my other amigo that came in a little bit late, Mr. Zenith. What's up, Boogie? What's poppin', Zenith? What is poppin', amigo? All right, cats. I will catch you monkeys on the flip side, and I will see you Friday.